Hi, Saturday, July 16th, 2016. Monaco 64 here, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. Just like to talk about Steve Forbes. He was interviewed by Christopher Greene of AMTV. A lot of you probably heard of Christopher Greene. I enjoy watching his YouTube videos, and I think he's a good guy. And he was interviewing, I think on the 14th of July, he interviewed Steve Forbes at a Freedom conference somewhere in the US. And one of the questions he asked Steve Forbes was about the Federal Reserve and the monetary system. And Steve Forbes said that the Federal Reserve needs to be reformed and that we should go back to honest weights and measures. The dollar should be, a weight of gold or silver, and that, you shouldn't change it because just like, the measurement of a foot is always a foot. You don't change that. A pound in weight is always a pound. So, a dollar should always be a dollar. And I agree with him. A dollar should always be a dollar. It's a weight of gold or silver. But one thing that I've found interesting is, if Steve Forbes is such a freedom proponent and a libertarian and free market proponent, why reform the Federal Reserve? The Federal Reserve basically is the institution that combines the private sector, the commercial banks, and investment banks. Now Goldman Sachs is, part of the Federal Reserve construct, and it combines government as well through the Federal Open Market Board, the Federal Reserve Board. So it combines government and private companies, and that's fascism. So that is fascism. It's a combination of state and private sector. So I don't understand why Steve Forbes would want to reform the Federal Reserve. I think what the Federal Reserve what needs to be done about the Federal Reserve is to repeal I think it's the 16th Amendment that created the Federal Reserve, and abolish the Federal Reserve. Because there's no need for the Federal Reserve. Money is created by the people, not by the banks. Banks are only supposed to store money for safeguarding or for lending if you want to put it on, get interest from, putting the money in the bank. They can take your money and lend it, at interest for you. So there is no need for a Federal Reserve. Yes, there were a lot of banking crises in the 19th century and up until 1914 when the Fed started operating, but never, you never had the whole system under threat. You had pockets of, the country in the US where banks failed, but never something like we've had in 2008, where the whole global financial system was under threat. And as the Austrians say, gold is the most marketable commodity. And some of you might think, oh, gold is money, it's not a commodity. And it's both, really, because all that the most marketable commodity means is that it's a commodity that everyone, anywhere in the world, will take in exchange for another good. And what that means basically is, for example, when there is no money, when we have barter or indirect exchange. Let's say I go to China and I want to buy a pair of shoes, and I can make a video about economics in English, and I can ask the Chinese guy, will you give me your shoes, and you watch my video in English about economics and the Chinese economy, and you say, and then you tell the translator, sorry, I don't understand English, I don't want the video. And then I say to the guy, oh, I've got a gram of gold. Will you take that? And he said, oh, yes, I'll take a gram of gold. So that's what money does. And gold and silver, historically, throughout more than thousands of years, have been accepted anywhere in the world for anything. So that's what basically the most marketable commodity means. And I don't think we need a central bank, to regulate people's actions, interactions, private interactions with others. Why should a central bank tell me what I need, what I should use to exchange, goods or services with someone else, be it, in the UK, in the US, or in China? I should be free to go anywhere and exchange my goods and services with anyone else for, whatever, we agree upon. Yes, the government might, have in their constitution, like in the US, that a dollar is 371.25 grains of fine silver. Fine, they can have that, but people in the free market should decide what they want to use. So yeah, it was quite a long interview, interesting interview. I'll put it up here. It will come up and you can watch it. So yes, Mr. Forbes, let's bring back honest weights and measures for money, but let's abolish the Federal Reserve and all central banks for that matter. It's not only in the US. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Take care. Bye.